Welcome to Ruby number 2, and we're on Codecademy, and we're just gonna go ahead and start where we left off last time. So we have equal or not in Ruby. We assign values to variables using the equal sign, the assignment operator. But if we've already used equal for assignment, how do we check to see if two things are equal? Well, we use equal equals, which is a comparator, also called a relational operator. Equal equals means is equal to when you type. So you're saying if x equals y, print x and y are equal. You can also check to see if the two values are not equal by using an exclamation point and a comparator, I suppose. So we've got two variables in the editor, is true and is false, and replace the underline with equals or not equals to make it is true to true and is false to false. Okay, so we want this to be true, so 2 is not equal to 3, and is false would be that 2 equals to 3, so 2 double equals to 3. Okay, less than or greater than. We can also check to see if one value is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to another. Those operators look like this. So you have less than with the little opening bracket, not bracket, but the less than sign. Less than or equal to, which is the less than and an equal, or the comparator symbol. Greater than or equal to with the greater than and an equal sign. We've set up a few variables in the editor. We want them all to evaluate a true. Your job is to replace the underlines with less than or equal, greater than or equal to make an expression for each variable true. So, okay, this has to be true. So 17 is not equal to 16. And so we put a exclamation point and an equal sign. 21 is so we'll say that 21 is less than 30. And we'll say that 9 equals to 9. And that negative 11 is, actually we'll put that it's not equal to 4. And we'll put the first one to that 17 is greater than 16. Actually, I have to put greater or equal. Okay. So this one will put that negative 11 is less than or equal to 4, and that 9 is greater or equal to 9. Okay, so let's check. Okay, that worked. Practice makes perfect. Great work so far. You know what they say, practice makes perfect. Let's try a few more comparators to make sure you've got the hang of this. For this round, we'll show you the comparators, and you set each variable to true or false depending on what value you expect the expression to return. Remember, no quotes around true and false. Okay, so test 1 77 is not equal to 77. That's false. Negative 4 is less than or equal to negative 4, which is true. Negative 44 is less than negative 33, which is true. And 100 equals to 1,000. That's false. Well, let's check. And we got it right. Excuse me. Booleans and comparators aren't the only operators available to you in Ruby. You can also use logical or Boolean operators. Ruby has 3, and the ampersand, or the double pipes, and the not, which is an exclamation point. Boolean operators result in Boolean values, true or false. The Boolean operators AND, which is expressed by 2 ampersand signs, only results in true when both expressions on either sides of the ampersand signs that are true. Here's how it works. So true and true equals to true. True and false equals false. False and true equals false. False and false equals false. For example, 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3 is true, because it's true that 1 is less than 2 and that 2 is less than 3. So let's practice. Check out the Boolean expression and set each variable to true or false depending on what value you expect the expression to return. So 77 is less than 78. That's true. And 77 is less than 77. That's false. So it's going to be false. True. And 100 is greater or equal to 100 is true. 2 cubed equals to 8. That's true. And 3 squared equals to 9, and that's true. So I believe that that's true. Okay, good. Or Ruby also has the OR operator using the double pipes. Ruby's pipes is called an inclusive OR because it evaluates to true when one or the other, both expressions are true. So true or true is true. True or false is true. False and true. False or true is true. False and false. False or false is false. Okay, so 2 cubed is 8. And 8 is not equal to 3 squared, which is 9. And that's true or true. So that's going to be true. It seems like I'm repeating a lot of true and true over here. But it's true that's what I'm doing. Okay, false or negative 10 is greater than negative 9, which is false. So false and or false is false. False or false is false. Okay. Let's check. Okay, we're doing good. Alright, the not. So finally Ruby has the Boolean operator not, which is the exclamation point, which makes true values false and false values true. So set each variable to true or false depending on the expression. So not true is false, and not true and not true, so it's going to be false and false. It's going to be false. And 700 divided by 10 is 70. 70 equals to 70, which is true, but it wants a not true, which is going to be false. Okay, great. Now we just combine them. Okay, so now we're going to have to remember that 3 is less than 4, which is true or false. So true, so that's true. And false or true, which is true. So true and true, it will be true. Oh my gosh, I think it's starting to give me the giggles with the whole true thing. Okay, so not true, it's false. And not true, false, or let's see here. So we have 100 is not equal to, so that's going to be true. 5 squared is 25, so that's going to be true and not, so false or true. It's going to be true and false and true. It's going to be false, I think. Oh my gosh, it's confusing. True or false is true, not true. It's going to be false. True or false, it's going to be true. Good. So now we review. Okay, so we're just going to continue. Now we are going to look at if, else, and else if. Okay, so let's just rewrite what they gave us. So A is assigned, so 10, and B is assigned 11. And now we put if A is less than B, which is true, we're going to print that A is less than B. Okay. Now, else if, oh no, it's else if B is greater than A, we're going to print that B is less than A. And then else, we're going to print that B is equal to A. And then end. Now let's submit that A is less than B, because 10 is less than 11. Okay, great. So unless. So problem equal false. Now print good to go unless problem. So we're going to print good to go unless problem. So that's a short version of an if statement. So we don't have a problem. Problem is false, so we should be printing it. So we're good to go. There to compare. So now let's review comparators. True or false. Okay, so something needs to be false. So we can say true and false. That should return false. And then we should do it again with, let's say 45 is greater than 100, so that should be false. And then false, 2 pipes, and false, which is or, so false or false. Oh, actually I have to put true. So false or true should turn true. Okay, so that works. Now the Boolean, that's actually what we just did. It's okay, we'll just do some more. So it should be true. So let's do 1 equals to 1. So that's true. And twice we open the parentheses. We'll say that 34 is greater than 1. Okay, so now let's put true and true. So that should turn true. And it's not equal to false. Or we could put not true. And then false. Let's do 4 is equal to 4. And whoops. And we'll say that, so that's true, so we need a true and a false. We'll just write false, and we did this. Okay, so what do we have here? What you'll be building, now that we can direct our program using if-else statements, we can produce different results based on different user input. In this project, we'll combine control flow with a few new Ruby string methods to Daffy Duckify a user string, replacing each S with TH. Okay, so print string please user input equal gets dot jump user input dot down case with an exclamation point. If the user input include S, the user input will be dot G sub S for TH. Else puts nothing to do here and end, and then puts your string is hashtag open squiggly parentheses user input, and we close the squiggly in the quote. Click save and submit. Okay, so we'll say string please. I am so happy to see you. Okay, and then your string is I am so happy to see you. Okay. Alright, so getting user input. First, we should print a statement to prompt the user for input, then set that input to a variable using getJump. Use print to ask the user for input, and declare a variable called user input, and set it equal to the user's input using getJump. Okay, so print string please and then user input equals gets jump. Okay, 3, please. I am so happy to see you. I am so happy to see you. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Next, we want to make sure that we capture both S, capital S, and lowercase s in the user's input. We could write separate if-else statements to handle this, but we can also use dot, downcase, exclamation point to convert the user's input to all lowercase. That way we only have to search for a lowercase s. So call the downcase method on user input. Make sure to include the exclamation point so that the user string is modified in place. Otherwise, Ruby will create a copy of user input and modify that instead. Okay. So we do user input. Down case, exclamation point. Did I get this right? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So I am so happy to see you. I am so happy to see you. Okay. Setting up the if branch part 1. Alright, time to add in a little control flow. For the if half of our branch, we want to check whether the user's input contains an S. Okay, so if a string to check include substring, we can do that using Ruby's include. So it's dot include exclamation point method, which evaluates the true if it finds what it's looking for and false otherwise. As a general rule, Ruby methods that end with exclamation point or question mark evaluate the Boolean values true or false. So we want to check user input for the substring s. So we'll write an if statement in the editor, and it should check to see if user input includes s. For now, print a string of your choice to the console if it finds s. Okay, so if user input include the s, I think that's all it's asking from us right now. No. String to check, dot include exclamation point, and then string, end it with an end. Do I have to do the whole thing? Oh, okay, yes. I am so happy to see you. Okay, so that worked. So after an if statement, the if always ends with end. Alright. Setting up the if branch part 2. So we complete our if statement. When we find the s, we want Ruby to replace every instance of s it finds with th. We can do this with the .gsub exclamation point method, which stands for global substitution. The syntax looks like this: the strings to change, .gsub exclamation point, and then you'll open the parenthesis with a slash, /s, comma, and then th in quotes, and we close the parenthesis. When we get to the later lesson, we'll explain why the S has to be between slashes instead of between quotes. You cannot put a space between the G sub and the bit of parenthesis. It has to be all squished together. So remember, you want the exclamation point at the end of the method name so that Ruby will change the string in place. Okay, so we remove the print statement. You add it to your if statement and replace it with a call. Oh, I guess I never put the string, but it's okay. And then call G sub on user input and have it replace S with TH. So user input G sub exclamation point open parentheses /S / comma and then quotes TH close parentheses. Okay, so I think this looks good. Alright. I am so happy to see you. I am so happy to see you. So that worked. Okay, setting up the else branch. The hard part's over now. We just need to let the user know if we don't find any instances of the letter S. Add an else statement that displays a string to the user to let them know if there are no S in their string. So we'll say else, then we to do that we put puts and then our string, nothing to see here, and we close the string with the quotes. Okay. Let's put something with no S. I am happy that you are here. So there's no S in that one. Okay. Oh. Whoops. I think I messed up. Nothing to see here. Okay, good. That worked. And then returning the final string. The home stretch now we want to display the Daffy Duckify string to the user. You can do that using the string interpolation we learned earlier. So my string equals something, we print adios the string, and then it should print something. So add a put statement that uses the string interpolation to show the user to transform a string. So that should go after the N, our if statement, and then we'll write puts and then our string. Your string is, and then we do the hashtag, and we open the squiggly, and then it's going to be the user input, and we close the squiggly, and we close the quote. So I think that should work. Okay, I am so happy to see you. Okay. Your string is, oh, I made a mistake with that. String, but anyway, it's already done. I am so happy to see you. So that worked. Okay. So, add an additional if statement to reprompt the user for input if they don't enter anything. Think about how you might account for words in which the letter C sounds like an S, and think about how you might preserve the user's original capitalization. Okay. So one last bit. I am so happy that it is sunny on Saturday. Oh wait, that it will be sunny on Sunday. So your string is I am so happy that it will be sunny on Sunday. Alright, so we've finished this. Okay, so next time we're going to look at the while loop. And thank you so much for spending time with me and just to relax and be extremely sleepy, hopefully. And I will see you all later.